Hi guys, so welcome to my at-home workout for you guys. So with me today, I have both my sisters that are going to be completing the workout while I demo it. So I'll have them kind of introduce themselves first.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm Olivia.
So yeah, they'll be doing the workout after I instruct you through it. So the goal for today's workout is muscular strength, really focusing on the core, and then flexibility. So we're going to start with a warm-up, and then I have 2 circuits, and then we'll get a cool down, and then we'll do our flexibility block. So on this whiteboard is basically for Olivia and Emily's benefit. It has the circuits on there for them, what exercises they're going to be going through, and how many to do of each. This will just be sitting in front of the camera for them. So we're going to head over to the driveway. I'm going to be moving the camera just a little bit so you can see their warm-up. And this warm-up, normally the aerobic portion should be about 5 minutes long, but because I can't really show you them going to run around the block for 5 minutes, I'm just going to have them jog the driveway about 10 times, and then we'll get some dynamic stretching in. So we are going to move the camera here over to the driveway and bring Emily and Olivia over here, kind of set this up. We'll have some music playing kind of when they are doing their warm-up, but first I'm going to have them start with just jogging the length of the driveway here about 10 times total, down and back. So you guys can get started doing that. Alright, so they just did their 10 down and back, so now we're going to start with some dynamic stretching. So the first one I'm going to have them do is they're going to do high knees down on the driveway, butt kicks back, making sure that they get their knees high and they have good arm action as they're bringing those knees up, as well as when they do their butt kicks, trying to have their feet touch their butt with still good arm action. So they're going to go down the driveway doing high knees, and then you'll do butt kicks coming back down the driveway. Alright, and then the next one that they're going to do is they're going to do some knee tucks, making sure they can get that knee as close to their chest as they can walking down the driveway. And then on the way back, they're going to be doing quad pulls. So pulling that quad, holding for a good 15 seconds on each of these exercises, alternating legs. So they're going to do that knee tuck on the way down, and then quad pull on the way back. Good work. All right, so the next one that they're going to do is they're going to do swing the leg, going down the driveway, and needle pokes going back. So they're going to kick their leg up, and the opposite arm try to touch the toe of that foot, and then on the way back, they're going to be doing needle pokes. Both hands touch the ground, kicking that one leg back up, alternating legs as they go up and down the driveway for both exercises. So we'll have them do that next. All right, and then the last two sets of dynamic stretches that we're going to have them do is that side lunge. So they're going to be walking down the driveway facing this way. You're going to lunge to one side and then lunge to the other. Make sure your knees aren't going over your toes with this. Hold for about 5 seconds going each way and then alternate ways. And then on the way back, they're going to be doing scoops. So making sure that toe is up towards you, facing you. And you're going to scoop down with both of your hands. Hopefully you can feel it in the back of your leg and your hamstrings and behind that knee. Scoop down and then do the opposite, getting that toe up. Scoop down with the other one, alternating down and back. All right, now they're done with their dynamic stretching. So we're going to move the camera here back into the garage and start with our circuits that we have. So the first circuit consists of 4 different exercises. The first one that we're going to start with is the static dumbbell scissors. So what you're going to do here is you're going to grab, we have just like little weights here at home. So we're going to be using this, but if you don't have any weights, dumbbells or anything, grab something that's around 5 pounds, a bag of flour, maybe some water bottles, something in your garage that can just give you a little bit of extra edge to these core exercises. So the first one, what you're going to do is you're going to hold this weight out in front of you. You're going to get in this position right here, and then you're just going to kick your legs back and forth. To make it a little bit easier for your modification, you're going to get rid of that weight, cross your arms, still get in the same position, and flutter those legs back and forth. For the second one, it's going to be a high plank shoulder tap. So you're going to get in this high plank position, and then you're just going to alternate tapping your shoulder with your hands. We want to make sure that with this exercise, we are trying to keep our hips as level as possible. What we don't want to happen is that when we're up and we're tapping those shoulders, we're moving those hips too much. We want to try to keep them as level and stable as possible. not moving when you tap that shoulder. If you need it to be a little bit easier, you can go onto your knees, still up on your hands, tapping that opposite shoulder. And then, for the static dumbbell scissors that we did beforehand, we're going to need 40 of those. And then for that plank shoulder taps, we got 20 of those. And then for the next one, we got weighted front squats. So we're going to take both weights. If you have them, I'm going to come back here a little bit so you can see me. Basically what this is trying to do is mimic that front squat that you might be doing in the weight room to really activate that core with a barbell. So we're going to hold both weights up here to your side, feet shoulder width apart, and we're going to go down in that squat position. We're going to make sure your toes are not going over your knees and then coming back up. If you need a modification to make this a little bit easier, you can get rid of that weight. Still hold those hands out in front of you, going down in that squat position. If you need to be even easier, you can reduce that range of motion and not go down as far in your squat position. We got 12 of those, and then we have hollow holds as the next ab exercise. So you're going to take that weight again. You're going to get in the same position as you were with the static dumbbell scissors. You're going to hold that weight out in front of you, and then you're just going to hold this position right here. We're going to do that for 20 seconds. If you need that one to be easier, again, you get rid of that weight. You cross your arms out in front of you, and you're going to hold this position again for 20 seconds. So we're going to go through those 4 exercises 4 times. I'm going to have my sisters only do a round, but down below in the comments, it will say that you should do those 4 exercises 4 times. We're really going to be working those abdominal muscles, your rectus abdominis, and we'll get in some external obliques here as well with the glute muscles working and your rectus femoris also with those front squats. So we'll get the music going, and the girls are going to work through at least 1 round of those 4 exercises for you. All right, you guys can go. So again, the exercises that they're doing right now, this one is the static dumbbell scissors. You want to make sure that plate is out in front of you, keeping those legs up. Try to keep that back and shoulders up off the ground. Good, nice job, Olivia. So now we're going to be doing the high plank shoulder taps. So you're going to get rid of that weight and go up in that high plank form. You guys can start these. Trying to keep those hips as level as possible. So Olivia, make sure you're not moving your hips as much. Yep. Try to keep them as stable as you can. Good. And if you need to, you can go down to your knees. Alright, now the next one they're going to be doing that dumbbell front squat. They got 12 of these. Making sure those toes do not go over those knees. That stage light, going shine up and down. Got that Rob Parker suit and Clinker with my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on my town. Trust me, on my I-N-D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-T. It's just chasing dreams since I was 14 with the Ford Boston. Halfway across that city with the crush. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. Alright, now they got 20 seconds of the hollow hold. So they're still going to take that 5-pound weight that they have. They're going to set that out in front of them, and I'll start the timer for them here. Alright, you guys can go now. Again, if it's too hard with that weight out in front of you, then you can get rid of that weight for the modification. But if you also need possibly more weight, then do grab that more weight or that heavier object that's in your house. Alright, that is time. So that was the first round of exercises that I had been doing. That was the first circuit. Again, they just completed that one time through. Normally you would complete that 4 times through though, making sure that with each ab exercise you're doing, you are breathing. We don't want to be holding our breath. We want to make sure we're doing the deep breathing in and out during each exercise. So then for the next circuit that they're going to complete, it consists of 3 different exercises. So what this first one is they're going to take the weight, and it's an iso bridge with a weight. So what you're going to do is you're going to have that weight kind of sit at the bottom of your stomach. You're going to get down, back on the ground, and you're going to raise that butt off the ground. You're going to hold this iso bridge for 30 seconds. If you need to make it a little bit easier, you can, again, get rid of that weight. Still getting your back on the ground, getting your butt up, making sure you're engaging your core and your glutes during this exercise and holding for 30 seconds. The next exercise that we're going to do is heel touches, or a lot of people know them as penguins. So we're going to be doing 40 of these. So again, your back's going to be on the ground. Try to get your heels as close to your butt as you can. And you're just going to rotate side to side, tapping those heels. We're going to have 40 of these total. If this is too hard for you, you can reduce that range of motion. So you might not be able to fully tap your heels, which is fine. Just going as far as you can each side, really engaging that core. And then the last exercise in this circuit is going to be your plank crunch. So you're going to get in a high plank position. And then you're going to bring your knee out to the side with your head trying to touch that knee. And then you're going to alternate sides going both ways. If you need it to be a little bit easier, you can drop to those knees. Still, again, bringing that knee to your forehead and your forehead to that knee. And you're going to be alternating sides here with this one. You got 20 of those total. So we're going to go through those exercises, a total, again, of 4 rounds. They're only going to show you one. Making sure you're really engaging your rectus abdominis, those abdominal muscles. Again, we're going to get in some external obliques with this as well. Making sure that you are breathing through all of these exercises. So we'll get the music going again, and they'll do 1 round of all of these 3 exercises. So we're going to start with that iso bridge with a weight. We got 30 seconds. I'll start the time. And they can start now. All right, you guys can stop that now. So the next exercise you're going to be doing are those heel touches or penguins. They got 40 of these total.
From Cali, that's what's in my drink, that's what I'm puffing. OG, been one since I was young enough to know that everybody was gonna know me.
For equilibrium. And then the last one we're going to do is that high plank crunch. They're going to get up on their hands, their feet apart, and they're going to bring that knee and forehead towards each other. They have 20 of these total. Again, if this is too hard for you, you can drop to those knees and do the same exact movement. All right, perfect. So that is then the second circuit. So you would complete that a total of 4 times as well. Hopefully that core is really being engaged and burning by the end of those 8 rounds total. So Now what we're going to do before we start our flexibility block is we're going to go do just a little bit of a cool down. We're going to have them jog the driveway again 8 times instead this time. So we'll have them go over to the driveway and do 8 jogs here for me before we get into our flexibility block. All right, so you guys can start those. All right, so now that they are done with those, hopefully they're a little cooled down after that workout. So now we're going to do our flexibility block next. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a series of stretches. So we're going to start on this mat here on the ground. We're going to work our legs first. So first we're going to do the butterfly stretch. So we're going to make sure that we hold all of these stretches that we do for 30 seconds. I'm going to only do them for about 10 seconds to kind of show you the routine of them all and which ones you should be doing. But make sure to get that full flexibility stretch in. We're holding them for at least 30 seconds for each one of these stretches. So again, this one's the butterfly. Next, we're going to reach out one of our legs and we're going to try to touch their toes. Again, holding for 30 seconds, making sure we're getting that bicep femoris and those hamstring muscles underneath. We're going to do this for both sides, and we're going to do one up the middle. So we'll switch here, doing our other leg, making sure we're getting both hamstrings well here with this stretch. And then we'll bring both feet out in front of us here, again trying to touch our toes. You want to stretch to a mild discomfort. We don't want it to be too painful. So if you cannot touch your toes, you just go as far as you can until you do feel that mild stretch going for you. We don't want to pull anything while we are stretching. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to cross our leg, one leg over, and then we're going to take our hands, grab that leg that's underneath, and we're going to pull back. Again, we should be feeling it right here in our glute muscles. Holding for 30 seconds. And then we will switch legs here. So cross the other leg over, grab that other leg, and you're going to pull back until you do feel that stretch. All right, and then we're going to get up. And the next one, what we're going to do is we're going to, it's called the pigeon stretch. So you're going to have that one leg kind of cross out in front of you and the other leg behind. Leaning forward, both hands on the ground in front of you. You should feel that stretch on this hip that is crossed. You should feel it on the hip and the glute muscles. I believe your iliopsoas is being stretched with this as well. I hope that's the right muscle. And then we're going to switch and do the other leg. Again, making sure we're holding these each for 30 seconds. I'm only doing about 10 for the sake of the video, but I am showing you all the ones that you would do. All right, the next one then is we're going to get into that lunge. So one knee on the ground, one knee out in front of you, and then we're just going to lean forward. Again, we don't want that knee going over the toe because then we're putting more strain on the knee. And we want to be stretching our hip flexor muscles right about there. Lean forward again until you feel that mild stretch and hold it for about 30 seconds. Then you will switch legs. All right. Then we're going to come up here. I'll back up so you guys can kind of see me. And then we're going to be doing a quad pull to make sure we stretch those quads. So again, you need to have your arm out in front of you for balance. We're going to be pulling that quad back, holding for 30 seconds for each leg. Making sure we're feeling that stretch right here with the rectus femoris. And we're going to switch legs. Another way to find your balance is if you find a focal point to kind of look at, and then just stick to looking at that point for about 30 seconds. All right, now we're going to be working on our shoulder mobility. So at first, we're just going to swing those arms forward and back. We're going to do this for, again, 30 seconds. We didn't do a whole lot with our arms today, so we do kind of want to just get them warmed up before we stretch them. Then we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to step behind my sisters, and we're going to go side to side. Again, for 30 seconds. Then the next one we're going to do is we're just going to take that arm and we're going to pull it across our body here. Making sure we're feeling that stretch in the deltoids. And then we're going to do the same with the other arm. All right, the next one, we're going to do our triceps. So we're going to take that arm, pull it behind our head, and take the opposite arm, grab that elbow, and try to pull the arm back. Really stretching the tricep of the arm that's put behind your head by pushing down that elbow. Again, we're going to hold for 30 seconds. Then we're going to switch to the opposite arm. All right, now we don't have a whole lot of wall room in the garage, so I'm just going to use one of my sisters as my wall, but you guys could use a wall at home. So basically I'm going to have Emily kind of come out here in front of me, and what we're going to do is I'm just going to hold my arm there, and I'm going to lean forward. I want to be sure, we'll step back a little bit so the camera can see this. I'm going to lean forward. I want to make sure I'm feeling that stretch in my pec and in the front of my shoulder here. Keeping my hand behind, it's on her back, my hand's on her back, and I'm leaning forward. Keeping the rest of my body parallel and straight, making sure I'm really feeling that stretch in my arm. Then we're going to do the same thing, switch sides, and do that other arm. Hold it for 30 seconds. Again, you can do this on the wall. And then to make sure then we get the back of our arm again, we're going to go to the ground. And we're going to put that arm across our body. And then we're just going to lay flat on the ground, making sure we're pushing that shoulder with our body to the ground to make sure that we're feeling a stretch right here in the back of our shoulder. Then we're going to do the other arm. All right, and then that will be good for our arm stretches. I know my client's goal eventually is to be able to do the splits. So I know that is none of myself or my sister's goals. We can't get very close to doing it, so we're not going to do the splits. But my client, you know who you are. You then have 30 seconds going each way for the splits to work on your split goal. Other than that, that was the other part of our cool down, just because the other goal of our workout was flexibility. So we really want to make sure that we are holding each stretch for 30 seconds, really getting everything we can out of each stretch. So you don't really need to do a cool down, but if you feel like there is anything else that does need to be stretched after doing that ab exercise, I'm not really sure what this yoga position is called. But this is a good stretch to stretch out those abdominal muscles that we worked today. Holding this for 30 seconds can also help stretch out those muscles. And then anything else that you kind of feel like you may need to stretch afterwards, do so. But that was my at-home workout. So hopefully you guys all liked it. Hopefully that core was burning for you. If not, do increase that weight. Or if you really want to, you can increase those rounds as well. So have a good day and hope everyone's staying safe. Thank you.